Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is going to be on Unit 1, Real Numbers, Lesson 2, Exponents and Powers. So consider the situation. You've already bought a house with a pool that is in bad shape. The pool is a perfect cube with a length of 10 meters. Instead of fixing the pool, you would like to fill it in with concrete. How many cubic meters of concrete will you need to fill in the pool? Right? You don't want to overestimate and pay for too much concrete. You also don't want to underestimate and not have enough concrete. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to figure out or calculate exactly how much concrete we would need to fill in the pool. What is a power? A product of repeated factors can be expressed as a power. Something like 2 to the fourth. 2 to the fourth, the base is a common factor, so the 2 in this case. The 4 is our exponent, and that tells us how many times the base is to be used. So in this case, the base of 2 should be used 4 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. If we want to write an expression using exponents, when writing an expression such as the one listed above, 3 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5, using exponents, first decide how many times each base is being used. So for in this case, the base of 3 is a factor 3 times, and the base 5 is a factor 2 times. Therefore, it can be written as 3 to the third times 5 to the second. In example number 1, we have evaluate negative 3 to the third. Well, negative 3 to the third is really the base of negative 3 written 3 times. So negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. If I just multiply the first two, negative 3 times negative 3, a negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 9. And then 9 multiplied by the last negative 3, 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. A negative number to an odd exponent, an odd power, will always be negative. Write the expression 4 times 4 times 4 times b using exponents. Well, if we look at the 4s, the 4 occurs 3 times, so therefore we're going to use that base 4 with an exponent of 3 for the 3 times that it shows up. The base of b shows up twice, so we're going to write that as b squared because the base appears twice. If I multiply them back together, 4 to the third times b squared, that would just be 4 to the third b squared, our final answer. Evaluate the expression 2 to the third times negative 3 squared. So 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, the base of 2 being used 3 times. Negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, the base of negative 3 being used twice. If we multiply the bases with the 2's, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Multiply the like bases, negative 3 times negative 3, and I get 9. And then 8 times 9 would give us our final answer of 72. Evaluate the expression f to the third plus n to the fourth if f equals negative 4 and n equals 10. So in this case, the first thing I want to do is substitute in the values for f and n. It says that f is negative 4, so I'll replace the f with a negative 4, and n equals 10, so I'll replace the n with a 10. So now I have negative 4 to the third plus 10 to the fourth. Well, we know that negative 4 to the third is the base of negative 4 being used 3 times, so negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. 10 to the fourth is the base of 10 being used 4 times, 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And if I multiply the like bases together, negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 is negative 64. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is 10,000. And then negative 64 plus 10,000 would give me a total of 9,936. Right, the volume of a cube can be found using the formula V equals S to the third, where S is the length of one side of the cube. If a cube has a side measuring 5 centimeters, what is the volume of the cube? Well, first we have to understand what the volume formula is for the volume of a cube. The volume of a cube is simply v equals s to the third, which they gave us in the problem, where s is the side length. The side length that they gave us in the problem to use was 5 centimeters, so I'm going to substitute in 5 for the value of s. So now I have v equals 5 to the third. 5 to the third is the base 5 being used 3 times, so 5 times 5 times 5, which if we multiply together gives us 125. It's always important when doing word problems to label your answer. In this case, the label was centimeters, and because it was volume, volume is a cubic measurement, so it should be 125 centimeters cubed. All right, so back to our original concrete problem. How much concrete do I need to fill in the pool? Well, if the volume is s cubed and the s is 10, the side length is 10, then the volume would equal 10 to the third, which is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000 cubic meters, 1,000 meters cubed. So you would need to buy 1,000 cubic meters of concrete to fill in your pool, and that way you will have no extra and you will have enough. So in review, when we're writing powers, right, we can write powers in lots of different ways. If we have something like 3 to the first, that's called 3 to the first power, right? Its factors are 3 because of that 1. There is just 1 3. 3 squared is 3 to the second power, or 3 squared. Remember that the 2 denotes how many times the 3 is being used. So 3 times 3 in that case. 3 to the third is 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3, and so on, right? The exponent represents the number of times that that power or factor is being used. So 3 to the nth power would be 3 times 3 times 3, n times, n factors. So that has been our lesson, Unit 1, Real Numbers, and I hope you enjoyed it.